So on his 86th birthday, All the Right Movies on Twitter posted some of Dustin Hoffman's best movies, which usually brings up this question. Usually when the question comes up, who's the best actor of the 70s, people usually say Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, as they should. Like, Pacino and De Niro are legends. They made a ton of classic movies, and even in their advanced age, they're still making movies and making babies. Like, Pacino's 83 and De Niro will be 80 on August 17th, I believe, and they're still making babies in movies. Go figure. But but it wasn't just about them in the 70s, right? The 70s was a murderer's row when it comes to actors. You had Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall, Elliot Gould, Bruce Dern, Clint Eastwood, Burt Reynolds, Robert Redford. Robert Redford is a curious case because Robert Redford gets, I think, overshadowed because he was good looking. But if you look at his movies, The Way We Were, The Candidate, which is amazing, 3 Days of the Condor, which is amazing, All the President's Men, which was amazing. He was standing toe to toe with those dudes, but he was so good looking to kind of look past that. And then you look at someone like John Cazale. John Cazale was not a leading actor. He only made 5 films. He was a supporting actor, but you know him. John Cazale played Fredo in The Godfather. He was in Dog's Day Afternoon with Al Pacino. He was in The Conversation with Gene Hackman. And his last film was The Deer Hunter. And unfortunately, he died at the age of 42 after The Deer Hunter from lung cancer. And the girlfriend at the time who was by his side at his death was a young Meryl Streep, who would go on to become the greatest actress of her generation. But back to the 70s. So even as great as Pacino and De Niro are and were, they might not be the best actors of their generation. That could go to Jack Nicholson and Dustin Hoffman. Jack is Jack, right? Jack is a legend. I miss Jack on screen. Jack is legend. But there's Hoffman, right? And Hoffman can be argued to be the best actor of his generation. When he gets into his roles, he is so believable. What he did as Lenny, Bruce, and Lenny is totally different from Tootsie. What he did in Tootsie was totally different from The Graduate. What he did from The Graduate is totally different from Kramer versus Kramer than what he did in Midnight Cowboy. Dustin Hoffman was a character actor who happened to be a leading man. So it brings up the question, what is your most underrated Dustin Hoffman film? I saw Straw Dogs a few years ago from Sam Peckinpah. Amazing, brutal film. You believe that Dustin Hoffman was this academic who was timid, but he tried to save his family from these band of psychos. So check out Straw Dogs. But also tell me, what do you think is Dustin Hoffman's most underrated film? Because he might be the best actor of his generation.